Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you guys are enjoying the content that we're throwing up. And make sure you guys hit the like button if you enjoy the video. And yeah, let's begin. What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and if you are not aware, as part of my Patreon, if you're part of the higher tiers, you actually get to choose the Beyond Omega level video that I do for a week, and you get to choose a character explanation for me to focus on. And this month, Jacob wanted me to cover Beyond Omega level Batman from the Mobius chair, and he wanted me to explain Guy Gardner. Now, I've already got Guy Gardner explained. You'll find that link down in the description. So, Jacob, make sure you check your email. I sent you a response. You need to give me a different character to explain. I don't know if you did or not. And then Mobius Batman, of course, we're going to explain here. Now, we usually open these up by explaining the origin of the character that we're talking about, but I would be shocked if there's a single person watching this video that couldn't recite the origin of Batman by heart, right? He is a guy who would basically hail from a planet that was in the process of being destroyed. His father basically sent him away on a spaceship. He ended up arriving on the planet Earth, where he was exposed to gamma rays. These gamma rays basically mutated him, turning him into Batman, and then he essentially went forward fighting against Germans during World War II. He was frozen in ice for some amount of time. Ultimately, he was thawed out by the Justice League, and he's been serving a part of the X-Men team ever since. So it's something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the Mobius chair was created by Jack Kirby back when he made the switch from Marvel to DC and was given free reign to create his own universe of original characters that would come to be known as the Fourth World. The Mobius chair made its initial appearance in New Gods #1 in 1971, and at the time, it belonged to one of the New Gods named Metron, who used the chair to travel through space, time, and dimensional barriers. Now, the chair was also capable of producing a tractor beam powerful enough to pull entire planets. Now, during the Darkseid War storyline, Metron describes himself as the keeper of all knowledge past and present, and also states that he has come to Earth to prevent the impending battle between Darkseid and the Anti-Monitor, as it would threaten reality itself, and then he wouldn't have anything else to observe. And so it's also revealed that Metron was not the first person to sit on the Mobius chair, and in fact, that distinction belongs to an entity that was once known, not surprisingly, as Mobius, but is more commonly known as the Anti-Monitor. Now, when Metron meets the Anti-Monitor, he's blasted with a stream of antimatter, which does not harm him due to the chair's ability to create energy shields. And so when Metron uses the chair's abilities to summon the Justice League to the Rock of Eternity to talk to them about the Anti-Monitor, Hal Jordan tells them that the chair, not Metron himself, is where all the knowledge of the universe is stored. And so Wonder Woman ensnares Metron with the lasso of truth and then asks him how they can get the answers to their questions about defeating the Anti-Monitor. And so Metron is forced to tell her that they can do so by taking the chair from him. And so Wonder Woman pulls Metron off the chair, but the chair's boom tube technology almost teleports it away. But before it can, Batman reaches the chair before it disappears, where he sits and begins to gain all knowledge of all the universe, and causing him to proclaim that he's now a god. Now, once he's on that chair, Batman can use it to ascertain the answer to any question, save for one. When he asks the chair who the Anti-Monitor is, it's unable to supply an answer. And so while the Mobius chair unlocks all the knowledge of the universe for Batman, it doesn't technically make him omniscient, since there is at least one bit of information unknown to the chair, and Batman also explains that the chair cannot see the future, only events past and present, which explains why it wasn't able to tell us when DC was going to do the Three Jokers story. So Batman uses the chair to travel to the planet Cord, the homeworld of the Anti-Monitor, located in the antimatter universe. Once there, Batman learns of the Anti-Monitor's previous existence as Mobius and discovers that he built the Mobius chair and was transformed into the Anti-Monitor after touching the anti-life equation. And so once Darkseid's killed, Batman resolves how to use his new role as the God of Knowledge to be the Batman that Gotham City needs him to be, using his newfound knowledge to solve the city's problems in ways that he never could before. And so he uses the Mobius chair to read all the thoughts of the citizens of Gotham, and once someone conceives of committing a crime, Batman intervenes prior to the crime being committed. So basically that movie with Tom Cruise, right? Pre-crime. What was that movie called? Somebody post down in the comments. I can't remember what that movie was called. But this results, however, in the justice system becoming overloaded and forcing Batman to release criminals because they cannot be prosecuted for acts they merely planned to do. However, because this results in victims never being heard, Batman continues to preemptively strike against criminals and administering his own system of justice. For instance, he uses the chair to transport some would-be armed robbers to Antarctica and leaving them there, and then taking a man who planned on murdering his ex-wife to Themyscira to be dealt with by the Amazons. Now, although Batman states that he does not need food or water to survive and is instead nourished by the chair, being in the chair begins to take a physical toll on Batman. And as he remains in the chair for a prolonged period of time, he becomes addicted to the constant flow of knowledge streaming into his brain to the point that he's unable to leave the chair until Hal Jordan gives him a Green Lantern ring, which allows him to use his willpower to break the chair's hold over him, which doesn't really make any sense because the whole idea of a Green Lantern ring is that it feeds on willpower. So Batman had that willpower the entire time. I guess he was just like, I'm just gonna wait for Hal Jordan to give me a Green Lantern ring, right? Because the plot calls for it. I feel like that's a massive loophole. But this opens the door to the chair to be claimed by Owlman, the crime syndicate version of Batman from Earth 3. Now, because Batman was in the Mobius chair for such a short period of time, we don't have a lot to analyze in terms of what he actually did. He basically used his powers to stop crime in Gotham before it occurred, and then found out information about Joe Chill and the Joker, none of which DC's put any use to. But what makes this version of Batman beyond Omega level is what he had the potential to do. The thing is, this is Batman, right? He's considered the world's greatest detective, even without the chair. He's already able to do things that no ordinary human should be able to do, thanks to his intellect, extreme wealth, and plot armor. But when you enhance his intellect to an infinite degree and retain all of his other resources, he becomes even more of a threat. In the Mobius chair, Batman can read the minds of his opponents, and so he's aware of what their plans are and can adjust his responses accordingly. Furthermore, he's able to discern the weakness of anyone he faces and figure out the most efficient way to exploit them. For years, Batman fans have been championing prep time as the great equalizer that'll allow Batman to take down characters that are vastly superior to him in terms of power. Give him enough time to figure out his opponent's tendencies and weaknesses, and Batman will find a path to victory. What the Mobius chair does is take the need for prep time away, right? So it's like Goku and Ultra Instinct. Batman will immediately know what he needs to do to achieve victory in any situation. Add to that the ability to travel through time and space, and a chair that's capable of moving planets, and there is very little that would be outside of Batman's capability as long as he doesn't become laser focused on stopping street level crime in Gotham like he did when he actually got the chair, which is a colossal waste of time. But with that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this video to an end. If you are new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit the sub button to become part of the Rob Core. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. Now we'll catch you all later. Peace.